What is going on, everybody? It is Luke Beller, and today I wanted to talk about something that has been a little bit less talked about overall, when it comes to this Packers team facing off against the Los Angeles Rams. Obviously, the biggest storyline is this Packers offense versus this Rams defense, as we have covered throughout this week on this channel. But today I wanted to focus on something that I think could be very crucial for this Packers team to get the win. And it sort of has to do with the defensive side of the ball. So when we take a look at this Packers defense, I think the narrative that most people seem to think is that this Packers defense is still, very weak. Obviously, we have a great, offense with Aaron Rodgers. But this defense seems to be lacking the ability to get the Packers where they need to be. And I think this may have been true, last year, obviously, in that NFC Championship game, and maybe for the first half of the season for this Packers team. But I really think when you sort of take a look at how this Packers defense has improved in the later half of the season, we can see just how good they have been, which I think can give, Packers fans hope coming into this game versus the Los Angeles Rams. So when we take a look at the entire season, this Packers defense finished as the 14th best scoring defense, allowing 23.1 points per game. So middle of the road when you look at the entire season. But if we take a look at the final 6 games for this Packers defense, they have been 6th in the NFL when it comes to points allowed, allowing only 18.5 points per game. So obviously they have made lots of improvements. Lots of players have been breaking out, like Darnell Savage has been playing great. Rashawn Gary's improved. And I just think this Packers defense in general, obviously from those stats, as you can see, has really started to take steps forward, especially when it comes to stopping the run. That's been the Packers' biggest weakness, over the past couple of years. And in the past 5 games for the Packers, they have held the leading rusher to under 100 yards. Week 16, we hold Derrick Henry to 98 yards on 23 carries. And in week 17, we hold David Montgomery to 69 yards on 22 carries. And so now we are facing off against a Rams team that really needs to be successful when it comes to running the ball, just because their offense is sort of built around that, built around the play-action pass. And when we take a look at Jared Goff's history, in his 29 losses in the NFL, in 17 of those games, his team has run for under 100 yards. So as you can see, if we can hold their running backs in check, it gives us a much better shot to beat this Rams team. And so we're going to be facing off against Cam Akers, who last week really ran all over the Seahawks, had 28 carries, 131 yards in that win versus the Seattle Seahawks. And so I think the Packers really need to stop Cam Akers, to sort of hold him back the way that we've held Derrick Henry and David Montgomery in check. And I think that if we can do that, it's going to force Jared Goff to make some mistakes, or John Wolford, whoever the quarterback is back there, to make some mistakes. And so if we take a look at Jared Goff and his stats for the final 6 games of the NFL season, you can see here, he's thrown interceptions in 4 of those 6 games. His, passer rating sort of moves around a lot. He seems to be pretty inconsistent. 52.9, 104.9, 74.9. You can sort of just see how he's sort of up and down. Obviously, he can have some good games, but there are some times where he does make a lot more mistakes. And so I think that if this Packers defense can really hold Cam Akers in check, if we can shut down their running game and force Jared Goff to try to beat us, if it is Jared Goff starting, I think it could lead to the Packers, getting some turnovers, which could be very crucial in this game. Because if we look at the game last week when the Rams faced the Seahawks, one of the biggest reasons the Rams won that game was because they had 2 turnovers, or they forced 2 turnovers while they did not give the ball away at all. Jared Goff had 0 interceptions. They didn't fumble a ball. And so obviously that really helped them when it came to winning that game. So I think this week, with Aaron Rodgers, usually being good at protecting the ball, if we can force a few turnovers, I think that could be a big difference in this game, giving Aaron Rodgers a few more possessions to come up against this really, really good Rams defense. And then if John Wolford were to start, here are his stats. He played a lot in that Cardinals game, obviously. 57.9% completion percentage, 231 yards, but still had 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, and a 64.7 passer rating. And he only had 6 pass attempts in that game last week versus the Seahawks before he went down and got injured. So I think that whoever is back there, whether it's Wolford or it's Jared Goff, I think the game plan, should be the same, and the key should be to stop Cam Akers. Because if we stop him, I really think this is going to be the Packers game. But that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. If you guys have yet to subscribe, make sure you subscribe. I put out videos on the Packers pretty much every single day. And also make sure you guys like the video. It really helps the video get boosted out to more people. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.